right. Hey, everybody. It is time for Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. I'm Sean.
I'm Kenny.
I'm Jim.
And tonight we have our special guest down in the lower right-hand corner. It's Mr. Dan from
Hey, everybody.
Dan and Horror.
Yay!
He's back.
Glad to be back.
We're glad to have you. Tonight our topic is classic horror movies, and we are going to just plow through the decades between the late 1800s and 1973 and everything in between in 2 hours. So it'll be real thorough, and we'll cover every movie.
Yeah.
Well, I've got an hour's worth of movies from the 1890s, so I mean, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I started in the 1930s, just to give you guys a heads up.
Okay, well that's
Yeah.
good. But first up, Kenny wanted to do a shout out, so we're going to
Yes,
turn
I
the
wanna give
microphone over to him.
Cool. I want to give a quick shout out to my uncle's wife, Irma, who just got out of the hospital today. Get better, Irma. We love you. Thank God you're okay and on the mend, and take care of her, Uncle Jim. All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Go Irma.
Go,
Go
Irma.
Irma.
And Mr. Dan, you said you had something that
Yeah.
you wanted to unveil.
I've got, I have
Not
a couple of
on-
lists here, and I have a little stack, a couple stacks according to the decades. I don't, obviously we get a little unwieldy to show everything, but I am going to incorporate a few things that I've never shown. And I did pick up a little something that I think Sean will appreciate. I can't wait to watch this and review it.
Yes.
Come on, was I not going to pick this up?
No. Of course not.
Fantastic.
They're
Yes.
wrestling that shark. I mean, come on.
Oh God.
That is great.
So
Too
I
bad
will.
we
I
can't-
will. I used to do a thing called recommends. I would do like, oh, my friend so and so recommended this movie, and I went through a series of those. So I've been meaning to get back into those. So I'll do that with Ape.
Okay.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I won't say you're welcome yet.
Right. This could be my last time on the show.
It's a very special movie. It's near and
Yes,
dear to
I'm
my
very-
heart.
I'm very tolerant when it comes to giant apes or kaijus or whatever.
Oh
So
God, it's a great movie, but not for all the wrong reasons. Um,
The legend
First-
continues.
First 5 minutes with the dialogue between the two guys. Breathtaking.
it's fantastic.
Oh,
I've seen that movie in the theater twice, and
you're the one.
I'm the one, but I only saw it all the way through once. The projector broke the first time I saw it, so we didn't get to see all the way through.
was it right when the ape gave the finger and then the projector
No,
broke?
I didn't even get to that point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's a classic. I saw it in 3D. I think it was in 3D the first time I saw it, but the last time I saw it all the way through, it was in 3D too, and they just showed the Blu-ray in the theater, which was awesome. But yeah, you're in for a ride.
Is there a blurb on the cover saying, "Well, it's better than Cell"?
No, I don't think so.
But it does say, Jim, vanquish monster reptile.
Okay.
Defy the jaws of giant shark, destroy a teeming city, demolish an ocean liner, vanquish monster reptile.
Yeah.
I think they were using the Korean to English
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
translator.
GBT, whatever.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Oh God, I wish I could be there while you watch it, but
Yeah. What year did that movie come out?
1976.
Damn, it can't be covered in this
Yeah,
episode.
No, I was going to say we can't cover it tonight, unfortunately. But all right, thank you, Dan.
That's awesome, Dan.
And in the chat room tonight, we've got Ken, we've got Stacy, we've got Kevin, we've got, of course, all of us. So thanks for dropping in, guys. We'll be monitoring the chat room for stuff tonight. So yeah, let's get into it. We just gonna plow through by decade. We don't really have a format other than by different eras of movies. And we broke it down. I had my good buddy ChatGPT break it down into the different eras of horror, which according to ChatGPT, there's the silent era, which is the 1890s to the 1920s. the Universal Monsters era from the 1930s and 40s, the post-war and atomic age horror from the 40s and 50s, and then the modern horror foundation of 1960s to early 70s. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it gave a couple of examples, but it basically what it did was it gave a couple of examples of movies. I know we're going to be able to identify at least as many as that, because that's why we're all here. We all know, Kenny, you might not know some of the earlier ones, but you know horror well enough to throw out some examples. And if not, you're going to learn some stuff. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, this is a learning experience, because basically I know the Universal the lineage from there, and then from watching Mr. Dan's channel, the Hammer Horror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that is a definite weak spot on my radar. So I'll be learning some stuff there too. I've gotten into it and I watched it when I was a kid, but I didn't get into a lot other than the sort of the retelling of the Dracula and the Frankenstein and that kind of stuff. I didn't get into the more deep cuts.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention any of the Dracula or Frankenstein Hammer movies. I figured, people, it's very easy to look up and just go down the list. So I've got some different choices here.
Cool. So we'll start off with the silent era. And I admittedly don't have a lot of examples other than what ChatGPT spit out. But I own not most of these, but some of them. But one I didn't know about was George Millay, it's Millay's The Haunted Castle from 1896, which is often cited as the very first horror film. I had never heard of that before.
No.
Never heard of it. I always thought the Nosferatu was the first one, because that's the most, from 1922.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's most, widely, used as the horror movie.
That's one of them for sure.
It's one of them. Yeah. The other one is the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
That's what I was going to say. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is the one that I thought. But again, both of those came out pretty damn close to each other, as far as I know.
1920.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that when I had a film class in college. That was the last time I saw it, which was quite a while ago. But it's, German expressionist, a lot of angles, a lot of shadows, a lot of stuff. It's kind of unsettling to watch, especially now, because there's a lot of weird facial expressions and stuff. But I don't know how it would work on a modern audience. Probably more humorous than scary. But
Mandy before Mandy.
What?
I said Mandy before Mandy.
Yeah,
I bet people had some pretty strong reactions to some of those movies, because some of them was jarring.
Nosferatu, I guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, just the
shit in their pants,
I mean, it's still creepy. I mean, geez, that's nightmare fuel. I one of the ones that I did watch was Vampire with a Y.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know if that was German, but that was good. That held my interest, and this was years ago.
Yeah. Do you remember when that came out? Was that?
I'm pretty sure that was in the 20s too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about that movie Haxan or something?
Yeah, that's the one I want to see. I've heard that has some wild
from way back when too.
Yeah. I've heard that's really good, and it's got some really wild visuals.
Yeah, a buddy of mine turned me on to that one 20 years ago when it came out on DVD through the Criterion Collection.
Wow.
He bought it, and at first I was like, "What the hell is this? It's going to be boring or whatever." Once I got into it, it was like, it's pretty creepy for a 100-year-old movie.
Yeah.
I would love there to be a compilation of those, because to get most of those are what, like an hour long? I mean,
yeah, it's that,
yeah. To get like the criterion of just one of those. I don't know. I like movies, but there's a lot of movies to buy. I would love to get like a compilation of 5 or 6 of those.
Mr. Dan, that Vampire's from 1932.
Oh, okay.
And it's also streaming on Fossum, Plex, and HBO Max.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. Nice. Okay, I would definitely check that one out.
You got the Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera.
That's true.
From way back when too, and that's all. they remade that, of course, but
yeah,
the original version of that was a silent film as well.
Yep.
Right. And that, well, Mr. Dan was talking about how these movies would be, actually back then would be kind of, disturbing. There was, and I can't remember the name of it because my mind is gone, but one of those very first films, it wasn't a horror film, obviously, but it was one of the very first films was like a train ride or a train coming into a station. And when the audiences saw this train pulling into the station, they thought it was going to come out of the screen. They didn't know how to react to it.
Wow.
So that freaked them out. So somebody wrote an article and was saying, well, imagine having that kind of reaction to when Lon Chaney pulled his mask off in Phantom of the Opera, or
or Nosferatu.
Nosferatu standing up without
Right.
elevating or whatever. So yeah, I can see where those movies would definitely have some sort of power and hold over their audience, even though they'd seem kind of comical today. But that would be amazing. I would like to just be able to travel back in time and witness that with that same kind of audience. Knowing what I know now, though, I don't know that I would want to have the same kind of reaction that they have, but just being able to see that through their eyes, I think that would be kind of cool.
I just shat myself.
Everybody screams and an odor permeates through the theater. The mass shitting of 1925.
Yeah. Not a lot of hygienics back then,
Right. But yeah, I can't think of anything like the Lost World, which is not really a horror film, but that's stop motion animation that was pioneered back then that kind of led into King Kong, which we'll talk about in the next era. But that's not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just don't have that much exposure to that early era other than Phantom of the Opera, Nosferatu.
Right.
Vampire, I'll definitely check out. Haxan, I've heard of. Definitely want to check it out. I forgot it was on Criterion, so that's definitely Ken says Alrune. Am I pronouncing that right? Alron.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'm writing that one down. I'm definitely writing stuff down tonight because there's going to be lots of. I'm like Kenny, basically. I know the big heavy hitters, and that's about it. So
yeah, the one Ken's talking about is from 1929. A scientist, Professor Jacob Ten Brecken, interested in the laws of heredity, impregnates a prostitute in a laboratory with the semen of a hanged murderer. That sounds interesting.
1929. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of language they use to describe the woman.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you,
cards come up and it's like, then the doctor tricked this hoe into coming.
I am
probably not. I'm guessing. I don't.
Guess what, boys? It's on YouTube.
No shit.
No
All
shit.
right.
Hour and 38 minutes.
I'm definitely going to check into that shit.
Yeah.
And it has English subtitles, it says on the bottom.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Hey, Texas.
What's
Texas
up,
in the house. All right. So we'll move into the 30s. And along the same lines, we were just talking about that one. I watched the other day the original. I guess it isn't the original because there was one before it, but 1931's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched that the other day. And I had to I was very surprised at how sexual it was because it was pre-code.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pre-code.
So they didn't shy away from skin too much. I mean, it's not outright nudity, but there's a lot of leg in that movie. And there's like, she goes, "Oh, look at my bruise." And she pulls up her skirt, like way above her knee. And then she gets under the covers and she's like showing, she's the one showing some side boob. And I'm like, whoa, hey, what's going on? This is 1931. Holy
Is this
crap.
the Frederick March one?
Yes. And I was just like, wow. And on the back of the
Kenny.
yeah, Miriam Hopkins is the name of the actress, by the way.
Great yams, right?
Yeah. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
But I was just surprised. But the movie itself, like when I was a little kid and I'd read books like this, Great Monsters of the Movies. I had this when I was a kid. This is something I picked up like at a book fair at a elementary school thing I was at. It always talked about, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as a movie to watch as a kid. And I'm watching this movie going, this has always been a movie that they recommended but a movie that they pushed for like Saturday afternoons or whatever. And it's basically a domestic abuse allegory, because you got the split personality, the amoral person side comes out in Mr. Hyde, and he's abusing the shit out of a prostitute.
That's also on HBO Max, guys, if you want to check that out.
Yeah, it is. Right. But it's a story about a guy who he's dealing with repressing his libido is basically what the story is about.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, if I would have watched this as a kid, I would have thought it was boring as hell and I wouldn't have gotten it. But watching it as an adult, I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty adult stuff. So I was pretty amazed by that. So, but that was 1931. And that was Paramount, not Universal.
Nice. I don't think I've seen that version.
Yeah, I have not seen any of the other versions. I have not seen, hey, Patrick. I have not seen the Spencer Tracy version. And did Hammer remake Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to mention it later.
Okay. And one thing that I did find that Dr. Jekyll is not the right pronunciation. It's Dr. Jekyll.
Okay, that's funny you said that because I've got one of those compilations of old TV shows, one of the like Mill Creek ones.
Yeah.
There's an episode of a show called Climax with Michael Rene, and the quality of it is lousy. But I was cracking up because they kept saying Dr. Jekyll, but I guess joke's on us.
Yeah, it's Scottish because in the movie they're going, oh, where's Jekyll? Where's Jekyll? I'm like, who the fuck is Jekyll? And yeah, the whole movie they call him Dr. Henry Jekyll, and I looked it up. Jekyll is a Scottish name, and Robert Louis Stevenson, who obviously wrote the original story, he was Scottish, and Jekyll is the correct pronunciation. So, if you take away nothing else from the show, there you go.
The more you know.
The more
Mr.
you know.
Hyde was Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Heidi.
Jekyll and Hyde together again.
It's Igor.
Igor.
Abby Normal.
That's right.
But yeah, the Universal monsters, of course, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Invisible Man, all that kind of stuff. Kenny, you've watched those, right?
Oh yeah. That's what got me into watching horror, was watching them Universal ones, because that's all I knew about like horror, and when Abbott and Costello had the monsters on. Like Invisible Man, the Mummy, all those.
Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein is one of the greatest films of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I like the Invisible Man one where he's sitting there with the spaghetti.
Yeah.
And he's like, Jack! And he's like looking, and all you see is the spaghetti coming, like feeding through.
Yep.
Patrick's asking, how do we define classic horror?
Everything before 73. Or before The Exorcist in 73.
Yeah, we're talking about everything before 1973. Now, does that make it classic, as in classic recommendation? You have to see it? No. But that's the classic era that we're talking about as a whole.
Yeah,
I've got a couple schlocky ones, but I didn't go into like cult territory, even though, I mean, that really started, I think, more like in the late 60s or 70s. But, I definitely got a couple schlocky ones that are mostly just for fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point here was that when The Exorcist came out in 73, and that was at the end of 73, by the way, because one of the movies I've got came out in 73, but technically it was before The Exorcist. But when The Exorcist came out, the rules changed because of how graphic it was and because of how wild it was. And not only that, but the critical acclaim that it got and the financial acclaim that it got. And everything else. Horror changed forever.
Yep.
After The Exorcist. It just did. Just like summer movies changed forever after Jaws.
Yep.
You know, once that Pandora's box was open, you can't close it again. So that's where we're coming from for as far as the classic goes.
Yeah.
A kinder, gentler time.
With occasional bumps in the road. But
yeah. When Underoos made their first appearance. And you looked forward to the Sears catalog every year.
Wish book.
Yeah, man.
Ken's right. All the Universal monster movies are on Peacock right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's funny, you mentioned all those Universal monsters, and when Kenny mentioned Abbott and Costello, I had to so rudely interrupt, but I think I saw Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein before I actually saw the other movies.
Oh, I did too. I didn't even know they exist. I thought they were just like made up.
Well, I knew who the characters were, you know, and such, but they used to play those movies on Family Classics a lot and Creature Feature on during the weekends, you know, during the day and, you know, Sunday afternoons watching old horror movies, you know, but regardless. But I definitely remember watching Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein at a very young age, you know, like 5, 6 years old, maybe. And then I kind of got into the werewolf and the creature from the Black Lagoon is the one that hooked me as a kid and still does. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I know Dan has a big fascination for that one. Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're right. Abbott and Costello, I mean, the monster parts were serious.
Yeah.
You know, Lon Chaney Jr. acted his Larry Talbot in that movie is the same as in the other Wolfman movies. You know what I mean? And Abbott and Costello are just playing off of it. That's the genius of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both women fighting over fat ass Lou. Or Bud, rather. But
that's the most fantastic part of it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. I do. I introduced that movie to my grandson when he was about 6 or 7, and he even loved it. You know, I was so happy that he loved it as much as
I showed it to my son after we made our way through most of the Universal movies. Sure. Yeah.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask at the top of the show. Being that we're probably all around the same age, give or take, you know, you probably started watching movies on TV, horror movies on TV before obviously going to the theater to see them. So what type of horror movies did you start watching? Or, you know, what got you into horror when you were watching horror as a kid?
For me, it was whatever Dr. Shock had on Channel 17, from like Godzilla to like, you know, just like I was more infatuated with like the monster movies, like the Godzilla monsters, you know, like that, because I was but I didn't like anything that like scared me, you know what I mean? But like I knew, like watching an Abbott and Costello movie with the monsters, I knew they were going to be okay,
right?
In my little head, you know. But it was like it wasn't until I don't think I was like I probably was like a teenager when I seen the Universal monsters.
Oh wow!
I just rented them like at the video store, you know, because I think it was like Doogie Howser came out in '89, and he had an episode where they were watching Frankenstein. And I had never seen that before. So, I want to say it was 89 when I watched Frankenstein.
Okay.
Because of Doogie Howser.
Mr. Dan?
Yeah. Well, I remember Kenny and I watched a lot of the same channels. We had Dr. Shock on 17, and I've got a book that shows everything that he showed.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
There's my movie.
Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake. Some of the Universal movies. They tended to repeat a lot of the same ones, but eventually I did see all of them. Creature from the Black Lagoon, you know, that was on there. I would say those, and then you know you had your giant monster movies from the 50s. You know, movies like that were big. Anything with a giant monster, King Kong, Godzilla, any Ray Harryhausen movie, you know, I was watching those for sure. Yep. So it was mostly movies I would say from the 40s, 50s, and 60s were what was playing on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less the same here, but in Chicago it was Channel 32. And Son of Svengoolie. Well, back then it was Svengoolie, and then it became Son of Svengoolie. But I watched all those movies on the Sunday afternoons, you know, like you guys are talking about the Universal movies, even some of those Atomic Age movies.
Mm.
None of them, very few of them scared me. Okay, none of the Universal movies scared me, or the Godzilla movies. To me, those were monster movies.
Right.
They weren't horror
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
This, on the other hand,
Yeah.
my brother showed me when he was babysitting me when I was 7 years old, and this scarred me. Okay, and this is what made me a horror fan.
Yep.
Because even though this gave me nightmares for a week, I just realized there was something dangerous about that movie, and I wanted to experience it again, you know?
Yep.
And then literally, maybe within the next year or so, the first horror movie I can actually recall seeing theatrically or otherwise, and I've talked to Dan about this one, was at the drive-in. My parents took me to see The Omen for whatever reason when I was 9.
Wow.
Well, they didn't take me. It was like they went, and me and my brother were in the back seat.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're looking between the seats.
It
Uh-huh.
was the second movie, so they were probably figuring that I'd be asleep by then.
Right.
Because more often than not, I would be. Nuh-uh. And when that little bastard, turns around and smiles at the end, I distinctly remember my dad going, "What the fuck?" And that's the only time I can ever remember my dad ever dropping an F-bomb in my mom's presence. I mean, it was like, it is a 9-year-old in the back seat. It was, but yeah, those were the two that got me as a child, and I've been a horror fanatic ever since.
Yeah.
I grew up.
I'm sorry. Well, there's a couple that creep me out. Well, parts of Godzilla versus the Smog Monster were a little creepy as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of it. And then there was another one, the Flesh Eaters,
Yeah.
which is kind of exploitative and a little trashy, but lots of fun. At the end, there's a goofy special effect that almost like kind of erases it. You know what I mean? Like, but there's a scene where the mad scientist feeds the guy these little creatures, and they eat the guy from the inside out. And there's actually a shot where you see like right through his stomach, and it's actually not the worst effect in the world. It was little. That was a little different than what was usually on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely some of those Atomic Age movies that creeped me out, because we talked about that when you were on my show. I forget, Invasion of the Saucer People or whatever.
The giant heads.
And they had the needles, injected the cow, and make the cow, but that was nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember the movie being necessarily scary, but that creature scared the shit out of me as a child. So, Okay, I'm sorry, Sean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I grew up in an area that was between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. When we got cable, I got Superhost from Cleveland on Channel 43, and I got Chili Billy from Channel 11 in Pittsburgh.
Chili Billy.
Chili Billy.
Billy
That guy's a
Cardell.
legend.
Yep.
He's in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That movie was filmed just south of where I lived. That movie came out the year I was born, but it was filmed, and it shows when they're showing places to go at the bottom, the shelters.
Yeah.
It actually shows the city I was born in at the bottom of the screen, and the hospital I was born in.
That's cool. It shows Indiana too, but that's Indiana, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to college.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where my grandpa's from.
Oh, really? Cool.
But yeah, I watched Superhost in the afternoon on Saturdays, and he would show a lot of the giant monster movies. And like you said, those didn't scare me. I loved watching those, and those would be the ones I'd be looking forward to seeing. But sometimes at night on Channel 43 at 8:00 on Saturdays, they would show horror movies sometimes. And I think I've told the story before. I know it's on my website, but The Brain That Wouldn't Die, they kept advertising The Brain That Wouldn't Die was going to be on. And I kept telling my neighbor, I'm going to watch that movie. That movie's going to be great. That movie's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. And they promoted it like all week. And then they showed the monster that came out of the closet with that's the symbol of the channel. That's why it's the symbol of my channel, that mutated face.
Yeah. Because
as soon as that appeared, I jumped out of my chair and flew down the stairs and hid behind my mom on the couch as fast as I could move. That is literally the first time I got scared out of my mind by a movie. Wow. So that's why he's the symbol of my channel, because that's what scared the shit out of me as a kid.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's the first horror experience I had, but it was from just a regular Saturday night movie. But on Channel 11 on Chili Billy, they they advertised Night of the Living Dead one. They were going to have it on at midnight on a Friday night. And I was like, oh, I want to stay up and watch that. And they put adults only. They wouldn't show it any earlier. And my mom's like, there's no way you're going to watch that movie. There's no way you're going to watch that movie. And she wouldn't let me stay up to watch it. And I'm like, what about this movie could be any different than any other movie made in 1968? I watch these movies all the time, and I never got a chance to see it until, I would say fairly recently. I was still pretty young, but it made that sort of like one of those things that you have to see, it's one of those forbidden movies that you want to see. And that's when I knew there was something else out there besides just the typical crap that, you'd see on a Saturday afternoon. And I was like, I want to see those. And that's when I started watching a lot more horror movies and looking for stuff. So yeah, definitely the horror hosts. Yep. I definitely miss them too.
Yeah. Chili Billy. Like I said, I know him from, he's in Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
He's
Bill Cardell.
the reporter,
Yep.
interviewing the cop at the end, but
Yep.
his daughter, Lori, is the star of Day of the Dead.
Yep.
I mean, she is the star of that film.
Yep.
So yeah, that's awesome. That really is.
Yeah.
It's funny too, but I remember reading the TV guide like religiously. It seemed like there were some movies that were reserved for like 11:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
Yep.
So I thought when I finally saw it, it was going to be like really scary.
Yeah.
Not really. It's pretty good. And there was another one that had the word bloody in the title. And they played it on New Year's Eve. And I remember someone wrote into the TV guide and they were like, I can't believe you showed this crap on your channel. What a way to ring in the new year. I'm watching it. I'm reading this as a kid, just cracking up. But
that's funny.
It was weird the way they did that. Some movies were for 11:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then, others but then here's me, and I don't want to go off topic because this is from the 70s, but then here's me at 1:00 on a Saturday afternoon watching Tourist Trap.
Right.
Which should have been rated R. I mean,
absolutely.
Scaring the absolutely hell out of me,
Yeah.
Right.
No, the movie that I chased like that, Dan, that was always on late at night, and again, off topic because it came out, a couple of years, maybe a year after The Exorcist, was The Devil's Reign.
Oh,
Ernest Borgnine and Shatner. Because
and you knew,
and John Travolta, who melts at the end.
Yeah.
Not a very good movie. Okay. But again, they always played that one late. And I just, for whatever reason, I had it built up in my head that it was going to be like the most scariest movie ever. And I finally watched it like, I don't know, when I was like 20. Yeah. And just sat there laughing my ass off. Right. Just like, I mean, again, it's not a horrible movie, but it's definitely not scary.
No. Right. Yeah. So 1930s and 40s. I'm trying to think of some other like 1940s movies. I know The Wolfman, but that's a Universal.
I've got a great one from the 30s that everybody should watch, especially around this time of year. And it's the original, The Old Dark House, directed by James Whale. That movie is so much fun if you've never seen it. It's got Charles Laughton and a great Boris Karloff performance. I think his name is like Melvin or Marvin or something. He's got like a deformed face and everything. It's kind of scary and creepy, but also kind of funny. That movie's a lot of fun.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, outside, like I said, outside of the Universal monsters and the Abbott and Costello stuff, that's about all I've seen from that era, to be honest. Once we get into the Atomic Age, that's more of the stuff that I watched a lot of when I was a kid. Between the alien invaders and the giant monsters and the mutants and shit. That was my roundhouse as a child, anyways.
Yeah, I'm just looking up some classic 40s. I just watched this one not too long ago, The Body Snatcher with Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
Yeah, that's not too bad, but it's not. I don't want to say it's a horror movie. It's more of a drama, a morbid drama.
Yeah, suspense.
Okay, I've got something from the 60s. I think it tells the same story. I'll show it when we get there. But
okay.
I think I might know what it is, but
yeah,
we'll see. And then a lot of the Universal stuff was sort of extensions of The Mummy and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman and that kind of stuff.
Lots of crossover.
Yeah, a lot of the sequels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think both Son of Dracula. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, Son of Dracula and Dracula's Daughter are both pretty good and underrated, and they've both grown on me over the years. Dracula's Daughter's from the 30s and Son of Dracula's from the 40s.
I've seen Dracula's Daughter, but I've never seen Son of Dracula.
Yeah, it's Lon Chaney as like a Dracula's offspring. It's a very unique performance for him. But I actually really like it. And he does some things like he sort of like levitates, and he has demonstrably like superhuman strength. It's got like a good Louisiana atmosphere. It's all like swampy and creepy. Good.
I Walked with a Zombie. That's good, from 1943. Yeah. Again, it's more of a scary drama type movie, but it's it takes place with the voodoo stuff. It's a good movie though. It's not super scary, but it's good. I watched that for the Halloween 15 a couple of years ago. I enjoyed it.
White Zombie came out around that time too, right? With
30.
Bela Lugosi, or is that in the 30s?
That's in the 30s. Yeah,
30s. Was it 32?
Yeah. Sorry.
Was it 32?
Yeah, I think it was like 32.
Yeah.
That and Island of Lost Souls were like very early 30s with Lugosi. They're both pretty good. White Zombie is a public domain. Speaking of horror hosts, every horror host has shown that like 10 times.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I was going to mention. You used to be able to get, and I don't know if they sell them anymore. You used to see them all over the place, were those compilations of like 50, greatest horror films, and it was all those public domain ones that you could get from Mill Creek. And White Zombie was always on there.
Oh yeah.
So was this one?
Night of the Living Dead was always on there because that was public domain due to a technicality.
Yep.
And I think The Body Snatcher was probably on there.
Yep.
The Raven.
Yeah.
Lots of
Terror.
those
The Bat.
ones. Yeah.
The Bat. Yeah. So so if you want to get caught up on some, unfortunately they don't look very good, but if you want to get caught up on some old horror, that's a good way to do it, is find one of those old compilations.
But I feel that's the charm of watching them, especially with those Mill Creek ones, because that's how you watched them when you were a kid.
Right.
On a little 13-inch black and white TV, you know, in your bedroom. So that's why it's like everybody will say, why do you buy those Mill Creek? Because it's like what you spend on those 50 movie sets, and plus you don't really need a 4K version of The Bat or the Raven. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I think that's the charm of watching those movies back then, because you get, even if it's like it's got like a little stutter or something, that's how you watched it when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You get introduced to the movies. I've actually watched some of them and go, man, the quality of this is pretty bad. Usually the version they have on Tubi is the same, because but sometimes you'll find a better one on Tubi and YouTube. So
yeah. Patrick says The Bat waits for Ali Lucard to pop up.
Oh, yeah, I like The Bat with Vincent Price and Agnes Moorehead. Now, Patrick and Alucard were doing a live watch along of that one, and it got copyrighted right in the middle of it. It was a shame.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
That's my favorite version of The Bat.
That sucks.
They're out to get you, Patrick.
Patrick mentions The Queen of the Amazon from 1947. I am not familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with that one either. Patrick saw that one theatrically. He was like 20.
I wonder if
Patrick, he knows it.
He tried to get me saying I just saw Night of the Living Dead last week, but I ignored that. So nice try.
I got your back, and I'm not even looking at the comments.
Sorry.
Patrick, is that Rana, Queen of the Amazon?
I dated your mom, Jim.
Hey, now.
Hey.
Let's
not get personal.
That's right.
All right. Let's move into post-war and atomic age horror, because I think that's where we all love our stuff.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot for most of us, I think. What do you guys think is the first atomic age horror movie?
Them?
Did them beat Godzilla to the punch? Which one came first?
It might be Godzilla.
No, Godzilla. Well,
54, right?
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms came before Godzilla.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
Because that was the inspiration for Godzilla.
Yeah, there were so many that came out around the same time. I mean, I don't even remember if them came out before Tarantula, to be honest.
Yeah.
With Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Them was 54.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so them came out the same year as Godzilla.
Right.
Interesting.
Let's see. Let's see if our good buddy Chat GPT knows.
You know what's interesting is I watched a couple movies on this compilation.
That's a really good set, Dan.
You got Mothra, the Giant Claw, which is for fun.
Mm.
But then 20 Million Miles to Earth and It Came From Beneath the Sea, which are both Harryhausen movies. In two of the movies, they had a really weird scene when all of a sudden the scientists looked up and they were like, "Hey, Dr. Akagi, what do you think of this?" They and all of a sudden there's a Japanese character there and he goes, "I think that's a great idea. We should do that." And the one, you just saw the back of someone's head. So I don't think they had a Japanese actor at all. And I was like, why did they shoehorn that in? And I think it was because there was a messaging there like, hey, Japan's on our side now. The Cold War is on. We have another enemy. That's what I think they were doing. But it was just kind of weird. Like this, almost the same line of dialogue in two of the same movies.
Interesting. Ooh, okay. We have an answer to the question.
Okay.
The first atomic age monster movie is generally considered to be The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms.
Kind of makes sense. Yep. If it influenced Godzilla. Mm-hmm.
And what year was that?
1953.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, I know a bunch came out pretty close to each other.
Yeah, it was based on the Ray Bradbury short story The Foghorn and featured groundbreaking stop motion effects by Ray Harryhausen. The movie's success inspired a flood of similar radioactive monster films, including Them, Godzilla, and It Came From Beneath the Sea.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, check this out. It Came From Beneath the Sea.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
really
Sweet.
cool.
I got a whole bunch of Harryhausen figures
That's
I haven't
awesome.
shown yet on the channel. It's pretty cool.
That's sharp.
It says the name of the title right there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I actually like 20 Million Miles to Earth a little more than It Came From Beneath the Sea. That's the one with the Ymir.
Mhm.
I think that's a badass creature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always feel bad watching that when he fights the elephant.
I know. Man, they beat up some elephants in those movies. They always put a hurting on elephants. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh man, I was actually going to pick that as one of my recommendations or my recommendation for tonight, 20 Million Miles to Earth, but I didn't. So, oh well. Yeah. So what else do you got for Atomic Age? You guys like?
Well, again, every kaiju movie you can think of.
Uh-huh.
As a kid, I was, people always talk about, the biggies, Godzilla and such. How about Gamera?
Yeah.
I love those Gamera movies, or one that Kenny brought up a long time ago, and I love it, War of the Gargantuas. Now, I know that in the 60s, okay, but still, giant monsters, and just love them, love those movies.
That's actually a sequel to Frankenstein.
Conquered the World or whatever.
Conquered the World, yeah.
I got two that are a little under the radar. One of them, I got the poster back there. The poster and the trailer made it seem like it was a giant monster movie. And then, this is actually one that creeped me the heck out when I was a kid, because they actually puncture the creature's eyeball. And I was like, like when I was a kid. The Monster That Challenged the World.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's what is it? The Salton Sea or something?
Yeah.
It's a lake, and there's Coast Guard guys there, and this creature comes up and it like grabs you and desiccates you. It sucks all your fluids out, and so you look like you're like a burned up, shriveled mess. That actually creeped me out too.
Yeah.
And then they realize that these things are multiplying, and they have to stop them. And of course they bring one back to the lab,
Of course.
and the secretary's daughter goes in there and starts fiddling with everything, turns up the heat. She was actually at a convention in New Jersey. like a couple years ago. I really wanted to go to it just so I can meet her, but the sort of the animatronic that they made for the one that was in the lab is actually really pretty good. It's actually like not a bad movie. I think people probably class it at like a notch below them and movies like that, but I think it's pretty good. And then I got another one. This is in a Shiro Honda one.
Is that
Not a
good?
kaiju movie, but it's called H-Man. The H-Man.
Yep.
Oh, that's a
From
good one.
58. It's really pretty good. It's got some really creepy scenes, and it's kind of similar to the Blob, but it didn't copy the Blob. It came out before the Blob. It's got some musical numbers and some filler and stuff, but it's got one particularly creepy scene where there's this derelict ship, and there's nobody's moving around, so they go in to explore, and they find this blobby creature that will sort of take over your body, and it's pretty good effects.
Yeah,
you almost kind of wish maybe he instead of directing all those Godzilla sequels, that maybe he handed some of those off to someone else, and he did a little more of this stuff, because it was very so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched that a long time ago. I think I did a review on my old channel of that. It's been a while since I've seen it. Is that on that set?
No,
that you have with Mothra? Because
no.
I think it was packaged with Mothra on something.
Oh yeah, well Mothra's I've got Mothra in a couple of different compilations. That's one that's in a lot. I think it's on a double feature with something called The Transparent Man or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 4 of them on there.
Yeah, but I was looking to pick that up because I really like that movie.
Yeah,
the other one I just thought of, and again, I love this movie, and I'm pretty sure it was from the 50s. Not Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, but the Colossal Man, or whatever the hell it was. The guy who was he was an army soldier, and he went bald and he went nuts and stuff. That was another one that they used to play constantly on the creature feature or whatever when I was a kid, and I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, there were 2 of those.
Yeah, there's 2 of those. One of them he has one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is Where the Colossal Beast, I think, even though he's not a beast, he's a man.
Yeah.
And the other one has a similar title. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those. Those were always on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. And talking about, it's not in the atomic age, but it's still sort of in the same realm. The Daimajin movies.
Mm-hmm.
Those I love. I have a soft spot for them. It's the same movie 3 times, but it's about this basically a Japanese god who is a statue, and he is up in the mountains, and he comes to life to avenge his people who are being wronged in each movie. It's a different reason, but he comes down and he goes like this, and his face turns from stone to this green face, and he just goes around and just starts slaughtering people and getting revenge for the people that are being wronged. And I used to love those movies. To this day, the Arrow put out a set of them, and they're fantastic.
Yeah,
the first one is the best one.
Oh, really? I've got the first 2, but they're on a budget compilation of Bigfoot Yeti movies. So I know
really?
I don't think the quality is going to be that great, but I don't remember seeing those on TV. I don't think we got them in the Philadelphia area, because I would have eaten that up when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've never seen them.
Yeah, they were on quite. Hey, Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean.
They were on quite a bit, but they would be on infrequently. They would run them, all 3 of them in succession, and then you wouldn't see them for a year. And then the next year they'd pop up and you'd see them, and then you had to catch them when they were on, and then they would just disappear. But it would always be a treat when they would be on, because I loved them. But they were like I said, it was almost exactly the same plot for all 3, but somebody was getting wronged, and a samurai would, or not a samurai, but a warlord would come up and really harass the people and subjugate them to all sorts of terrible treatment. And they would go to the statue and pray, and they're just about to give up hope, and then the statue would come to life and just fuck you, smashing everybody and get revenge.
The way you were describing it before you went, fuck you. Okay. I wonder if the guy that wrote the story in Creepshow 2 about old Chief Woodenhead, if he was inspired by that, because the way you were describing it originally, it's like a mountain who's a stone, and he turns into, it's kind of what the statue in that damn story in Creepshow 2 does.
Yeah,
the Indian.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does.
I might be reaching. I don't know, but
yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't actually say anything. He's silent. He just kills everything. And the special effects.
He actually said, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Yeah, yeah. But it's just the way he does it. It's just a catharsis at the end because these people are beaten down through the whole movie and nothing comes to their rescue. Mm-hmm. And then he just comes out of the mountain and just he's like, whoa, and just
put on some whoop ass.
Yeah, and it's so effective. And as a kid, I'm just like, this is what I live for.
I got to check these out, man.
Yeah, the first. If you don't see any of them, just see the first one. It's just called Daimajin, Daimajin, I believe. Yeah. But it's fantastic.
Awesome.
That's interesting because the second, the next kaiju movie that they wanted to do in Japan was supposed to be like an Abominable Snowman type movie where he was like giant, and I think it got banned in Japan because of the way they depicted the underclasses. They have a special name for it. And I guess it was they considered it to be unflattering, and it was a sensitive enough topic even way back then that the movie got like banned. And it's always been kind of like it's I don't know if it's available anywhere actually, but if it is, it's rarely been seen by many people, and it didn't. They had to change directions and go back to Godzilla and other kaijus.
Interesting. I had not heard about that.
Yeah.
Huh. But it got made.
I think the whole thing got made, and then they were like, "Oh, we're depicting the lower classes the wrong way. We can't show this."
I'll have to do some hunting for that. Not that it's available, but I just want to find out some more information.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find a video about it. I remember watching a pretty exhaustive like mini documentary about it years ago. I'll send it to you if I can find it.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. The Daimajin movies came out in the 60s, I believe. 65, I want to say, was the first one. I think they came out 65, 66, and 67. I think they were one right after the other. But definitely see the first one. Once you've seen the first one, the other two literally are the exact same movie with just worse effects and lower budgets. But the first one is fantastic. The first one is to me a 5-star movie.
Okay.
As long as you like subtitles.
I love it. I actually really got into going back and watching a lot of the Godzilla movies on Tubi with subtitles. Mm-hmm. First of all, the little like the thumbnail like posters that they had. I wish I could get a set of those. They really did a good job with that. I don't know where they came from, if that they were on a physical release or if they were made for Tubi. But I got a kick out of going back and watching them in Japanese with subtitle because we saw them dubbed.
Right.
So what is the one? What's the one where Godzilla and Anguirus talk to each other? I forget.
Godzilla versus Gigan. Yeah.
To see it, I finally got to hear them speak Japanese to each other. It's so weird, and to hear the human characters use the word kaiju.
Yeah,
it's really interesting because this was not something when we in the 70s we didn't call them kaiju movies. We didn't know what it was.
No,
it was much later when all things Japanese became popular.
I never heard the term until the 2000s.
Yeah, right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I think it was around the time that Pacific Rim came out.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Pacific
probably
Rim.
What it was. Yep.
Because they called them kaiju and that's the first time it kind of got introduced into our lexicon, and then that's what they called them everywhere.
Yep.
I'm sure Del Toro had every Godzilla movie ever made, and he probably consumed them and knew every little bit about him.
I'm sure
he's got every horror movie ever made. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure that guy.
Yeah.
I'd love to sit down and talk to that guy for an hour.
I know.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah.
Him and who's the Australian guy that directed Lord of the Rings? Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, as a kid or a teenager, he went to King Kong 76 like 6 hours before it opened, thinking there was going to be a line around the block.
Wow.
He was dressed up like an explorer, and he was like, "What's going on?" This is a King Kong movie. Shouldn't the whole country be here?
50 years later, I still haven't recovered from that. That movie broke my heart, man.
I've got a soft spot for that movie.
I love it. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the ending of that movie broke me as
Oh,
a child.
God, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just broke
Oh
me.
God, yeah.
That fucking heartbeat
Yep.
slowing down, and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And my poor brother, my poor oldest brother Dave, trying to corral, like 5 bawling snot-nosed little kids into his Firebird, after it was over. So, yeah. Good times.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was different. But a lot of those kaiju movies, a lot of the Harryhausen movies, his creatures would have a lot of emotion. You know what I mean? They would really be very expressive, and you would really feel bad for them sometimes.
And, yeah,
Maybe
they're
not
very
great all the time, but
you go back to some of those Sinbad movies, even.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like some of those creatures. I mean, they were all cool looking, but it was like they weren't all evil looking and shit. They all had personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valley of the Guanji.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I always felt bad because they were minding their own business, doing their own thing, and then here come the stupid humans that have to exploit them. And
Stupid cowboys. Yep.
Cowboys and dinosaurs. I mean, that's awesome. It's just awesome.
It's a great one.
yeah, I love that movie, but
I love
so
it.
do
Too.
I. It's ridiculous, but I fucking love it.
yeah, that was when did it come out? 65?
I'm guessing 68, but I'm not sure.
It's definitely 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 60s.
Yeah. James Tarantino.
Yeah.
Somebody was definitely on some good drugs when they came up with that plot.
Yeah.
Harryhausen was wild because he had all these ideas, and he was just waiting for a movie to plug him in. Giant carnivorous plant. Oh, I couldn't use that. I couldn't fit that in this movie because I had 10 other creatures. I'll just put it in this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll put a Hindu god in a Sinbad movie. I don't know why, but I'll just
Just cause.
How long was he holding on to that mechanical owl? from Clash of the Titans, I swear to God.
This is his last movie. He had to shoot a shot while he could.
I've got to use this owl.
But you know what? I will watch that Clash of the Titans over the new one any day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just, I love that film.
Oh, I love it too. Yep.
Well, okay, we're off topic. Sorry.
That's fine. I knew we would.
We're still in the 50s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still in the 50s. We're still in the atomic age. That's one of the things that we were talking about the kaiju films, the Japanese monster movies and the American ones. As a kid, I always thought the American ones were subpar. I always thought, even though the Japanese ones had rubber monsters and they had the model cities and they had the obvious fake special effects. As a kid, I always thought the American ones, the American giant monster movies, looked cheaper because they just took a regular spider and projected it in front of a screen.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you're cheating. You're not even trying. You take the giant Gila monster, or whatever it is. You just take a Gila monster and put it in a model set and
with a little tiny truck.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm like,
Food of the Gods.
Yeah.
Watch Food of the Gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or and then you had is it the Black Scorpion? When they tried to have an up close shot of the face, and you're like, what is that? That's not what a scorpion looks like up close. Didn't quite match. I mean, they tried though, to not just film as a scorpion in silhouette.
But that big giant Cheshire cat looking thing.
Yeah.
I'm a scorpion.
Kenny just picked that up, didn't you, Kenny?
Yeah, I was literally going to just show it when you guys got done talking.
Is that what it's called? The Black Scorpion or
the
Scorpion?
Black Scorpion.
Black Scorpion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got it today.
Oh, cool.
The Black
Yep,
Scorpion.
that's the face right there. Yep.
The Black Scorpion. You're right. Cool. Yeah. Cheshire cat.
Yeah, no shit.
Look, Dan, doesn't it look like Gritty?
Yeah.
This does look like a little like Gritty a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Gritty is the Flyers mascot, if you guys didn't know.
Unfortunately, I knew that. That reminds me of Attack of the Crab Monsters, the Roger Corman film, which
I just saw that for the first time. Because in my mind, I'm like, I thought I'd seen all sort of the giant monster movies.
Mhm.
Movies like that piss me off because it's mostly about some disembodied voice doing like mind control. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell is this? Russell Johnson's just walking around in circles on an island.
Yeah.
There's very little actual crab monsters in that one.
Yeah. And but when the disembodied voices are kind of creepy though.
I was going to say that shit creeped out Sean when he was a kid because we talked about that movie.
Yeah, I wasn't a kid. That was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Lori, hold me.
She's like, fuck off, Sean.
And then the next day she was like, Sean, do the dishes.
Yeah, I watched that. It wasn't that long ago. It was within the last 8 years I watched that movie, and it kind of creeped me out for a little bit. Just that scene.
Yeah.
But then they show the crab monsters, and they have the window blind eyes, and it's terrible. But
you also had movies where it wasn't like necessarily atomic, radiation and things. It was just like scientists experimenting on people, and like the alligator people is one I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, The Fly. Yeah.
Fly. Yep.
Classic. Yeah, I got to see that in the theater, and there was a Q&A with Victoria Price after. It was really cool.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is from my my Fly box set.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
which I love this box set.
It's great. That's one of the best things I've ever gotten.
Yeah, but the original one, it's goofy and everything, but I still think the ending of that movie is still one of the most chilling things. Seeing this on the Creature Feature TV, as a kid, the ending of that movie, help me, oh my God, and I think that's why I was afraid of spiders for years.
Yeah.
As a kid, because it's just so goddamn well done, and even the fly head on the doctor, with in his arm. For a movie that came out in the 50s, the effects in that movie are extremely well done to this day. I mean, I love that movie. I really do. Of course, I prefer the Cronenberg version. I mean, come on, right. But again, they're totally different. It's not really fair to call one a remake. It's more of a reimagining.
Yes. Yeah.
But like Dan said, there were so many of those mad scientist movies. Okay. That's the one that I own. But the ones that I wish I owned, and Dan covered them last year. The Teenage Werewolf, the Teenage Frankenstein, and How to Make a Monster, which I didn't even know existed until you mentioned that third one.
The third one is so much fun.
Yeah, it is, because I watched it after you made that video, and but I Was a Teenage Werewolf was one that my mom always talked about when I was a kid, because she had a crush on Michael Landon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before Bonanza and all that, and Little House on the Prairie, of course, was popular at the time.
Yeah,
but I remember seeing that movie, again on the Creature Feature and loving it. And same thing with Teenage Frankenstein, which I didn't like as much.
No, not as much. No.
But Teenage Werewolf, I still think is a great movie.
I think it's really good, and that's one of those ones they did on Mystery Science Theater. But it's a good movie, Yeah. And they were kind of like reaching for jokes, so when they do that, you can kind of tell they have actually a pretty good movie on their hands.
Right.
And the third one, the funny thing is, they actually had a remake of the third one in the 2000s, and they incorporated it's with Clea Duvall's in it. I think they incorporated they didn't call it AI back then, but it was like a computer game company rather than a Hollywood makeup artist, and they made a monster. I had no idea that it was a remake, because I don't remember. That's the one I don't remember seeing on TV. I remember seeing the other two. Yeah,
like I said, until you brought that up, I had heard the title before, but I didn't realize that it was part of that.
Yeah.
I just knew of the other two because, again, I had seen those movies on a loop, it seemed. back in the day when we were kids. You know,
the same actor that played Frankenstein and I Was a Teenage Frankenstein came back, but Michael Landon did not come back. He was apparently pretty embarrassed by that for a while, and then he made a Highway to Heaven episode called I Was a Middle-Aged Werewolf, which is actually really clever and pretty funny. So he got over it eventually, but
that's cool.
Yeah.
I remember he would
Sam's son.
I remember he used to go on Johnny Carson's show a lot.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson used to tease him about that movie because he hated it so much.
Yeah.
Slasher Fred has a comment. We were talking about Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde earlier. That opening shot, POV shot, where we get to see all the people that Jekyll is familiar with before we get to see him. Yeah, the opening shot of that movie, I didn't mention it when we were talking about it earlier, but I do mention it. I did a review of it that'll be up on Saturday, I believe, where I talk about the camera work in that movie, and it's fantastic. For a movie that was made in 1931, the camera work is really fluid and very influential. And it opens with a POV shot from Dr. I'm just going to say Jekyll, but you know, it's Jekyll.
You say potato, I say potato.
Yeah, whatever, you know. But it opens from his perspective, and you see him getting ready for going out, and there's a shot where he looks in the mirror, and the audience has had to be thinking, well, how did they do that? You know, like, that's really cool. And then he walks out the front door, and he gets in the carriage, and then the camera gets in the carriage, and the carriage goes away, and it looks seamless. And I didn't watch it long enough to look for like cuts or anything, but it's very, very good. It's very well done. And through the whole movie, there's all sorts of visual flourishes like that. So just from a technical perspective, it's a really well done movie. I mean, beyond the special effects of him transforming into the creature, just the camera work is spectacular. So it's really good.
Scorsese shot from 1931.
Yeah, it's a lot of great camera work for a movie. Like back then, usually they just panned left and right and up and down, and that's it. And the camera,
if they got in focus back then,
right? Yeah, exactly. Usually a stationary camera that just moved like this.
Well, that's even to go back and watch. And I love all the Universal movies, but The Mummy and Dracula, they probably changed scenes like 4 or 5 times in Dracula, the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Once they come in, they sit down and they're there for 20 minutes talking to each other, and it's like, can we get up and do something here? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not so in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
That's why I prefer like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. It was much more lively,
more fluid, a creature from the Black Lagoon for sure.
Oh yeah. The opening credits, it was like, there's the creature.
Now you're underwater. How the hell did I do that?
Yeah, speaking of that movie, it's talking about camera. That is a fantastic movie for all the underwater photography.
Yeah,
and the duality of the creature and what's her face, Julie.
Adams.
Yeah,
Adams.
Yeah. When she and he are just swimming together and like, that's some fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we're looking forward to having you here.
Thank you. It's late in the UK, so
thank you
very much.
Thanks for watching.
Speaking of UK, then you had like a lot of different countries around the world would try their own sort of kaiju movie. You had what? Gorgo from Britain. Gorgo in the UK. Gorgo. Remember that?
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's a female. Oh no, it's a baby. Here comes mommy. Oh shit.
Yeah, they're exhibiting the baby.
Like, Reptilicus from what? Denmark or something?
Denmark. Yeah.
I can't believe people. I don't know. Hey, you get buy what you want to buy, but I don't think that movie's good enough to get on 4K. I'm just saying.
No. Yeah. Right there.
Wow.
There's your guy right there.
I have it on one of those little MGM 4-pack DVD things, and it was a staple of my childhood. I loved that movie. I mean, it's a piece of shit, but I loved it as a kid. So I had to get it on 4K just to have it. But I think there's 2 different cuts on it as well. So I wanted to see both versions. So
Hey, you like what you like.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
what you
again,
like.
I didn't see that.
my favorite
when I was a kid.
Godzilla movie, I've said it before, is the Smog Monster. And
Yeah.
that one's totally ridiculous. My second favorite one is Son of Godzilla. Quack, quack. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous, but I love it. So,
You got some good monsters in that one, though,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one's just a big childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I saw that one so many times. And just him trying to teach the little tadpole how to blow fire and the little smoke rings are coming out instead. I mean, that shit's great,
Yeah. Yeah. But getting back to what you were saying, Dan, about all the different countries having, different kaiju. They had, Britain had Conga too.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Remember Conga?
Mhm.
And what's that?
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah.
No, it was, I forget exactly how the giant ape was created. It was created in a lab, I believe.
It started out as a chimpanzee, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a chimpanzee. And then I think it was injected with something and it grew to be as tall as Big Ben or something. Yeah, I've only seen it once, but I do have it on DVD. I'll have to watch it again. I have it on a dual midnight, one of those midnight MGM midnight movies things with Yongari, which is
the Korean one, right?
Yeah, the Korean kaiju film, which is awful, but I love it anyway.
That's one of the few ones where the creature just pretty much bleeds out at the end. They're shooting all these missiles at these creatures, and it's just bouncing off. You know what I mean? This one, it's like blood spurt.
It's a river of blood. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, is that the one? I some of the lesser kaiju movies, I get some of them confused. Is that the one where the little kid makes them dance?
Yes, I think that is. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, they couldn't be. They had to have their own little annoying kid after watching all the Hammer movies with the the little kid wearing the shorts that makes his way into the control room and
Mothra.
And they always get like a high pitched voice to dub him. It's like
Yeah. Get some 22-year-old guy here. Put these underwear on that's like 6 sizes too small. Go stand in the corner.
I just got visions of a giant kaiju bleeding out,
Well, we were talking about movies that were on late night. That only seemed to be on late at night. Godzilla versus Gigan, for some reason, was always on late at night when I was living in Pennsylvania because Godzilla bleeds in it. And he gets cut open and the blood spewing out of him. That was never on in the afternoon. It was always on at 11:30 at night. And it was the one movie I had never seen more than once until I got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Because it was always on late at night. I could never see it. And I had only seen it once until I got it on Blu-ray. So yeah, it was like, I don't know why they're not showing it. And I'm thinking it has to be because Godzilla bleeds a lot in it, which is a little unsettling for a kid. So if I would have saw that when I was little, I probably would have gone in hysterics.
Right. I've got an interesting one.
What's up?
Speaking of the atomic age, it doesn't involve kaijus, but it involves experimenting on kids to try to make them immune to radiation. It's a Hammer film, and it's called The Damned.
Oh.
It's got Oliver Reed and Viveka Lindfors, Aunt Bedelia from Creepshow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. The interesting thing is the Oliver Reed character, when Anthony Burgess wrote Clockwork Orange, he based the Alex character on Oliver Reed's character from The Damned. Just his mannerisms, the way he moves, because he walks around with a cane and he's got this like swagger and he's part of a gang.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting. And it's actually like a pretty good, I guess more of a sci-fi story. But it's definitely good. Unfortunately, there was a song they used in the opening credits and a couple of times throughout the movie that was probably popular like the week it came out. And by the time it came out, it was already dated. It's pretty annoying. But that's definitely a gem. And it really is kind of interesting because they were really thinking about like, after we all blow ourselves to bits,
When did that come out?
That was in the 50s. Let me see. Oh, sorry. No, that's 60s.
62.
We're in 60s now. 62. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's
I'll check
called
that out.
under YouTube. It's called "These Are the Damned."
Yeah, sometimes it's called These Are the Damned. Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking it up when you were talking about it.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
because it's like
That's cool.
because I'm like checking these out and just like saving them to
Yeah.
watch.
There was one that I caught on Prime. I don't know if it's still there. It's not. It's again more of a science fiction movie than a horror movie, but it's kind of interesting. It's a horror sci-fi film. It's called The Magnetic Monster. And it came out in 1953. And it's basically these guys, they're like FBI agents, but they're called A-men instead of
That's on Tubi.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on Prime. It's still on Prime. It is on Tubi too. I see that on IMDb. I just sat down one night and watched it just out of sheer curiosity. It's only an hour and 16 minutes long, but it's kind of interesting. It's one of those things where, back then science was sort of like they could throw anything on screen and say, this is the wonders of science or the horrors of science, and the radioactivity could do this and do that. But they have to track down what's killing people in this town in Arizona. And they send this government agency out, and they're called the A-men, and they go out and investigate. And they're like atomic agents, and they're looking, and they're using all their little like Geiger counters and stuff trying to figure out. Yeah,
shit that
there's
just
a lot of
clicks
that.
and- yeah.
And
That's
they
what I like
find
all
something.
about those movies too, because they're only like an hour and 15, hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Richard Carlson's in it. He's if he's in it, it's got the stamp of approval of the 50s.
Him and Richard Dennings and
Yeah.
Kenneth Tobey. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But it's worth watching. I watched it just on a whim one night, and I found it entertaining. I mean, it's worth sitting down and watching. All right. Where are we at? Okay. So then we move into, we're still in the 50s, late 50s. Were there any other Hammer movies that you wanted to talk about?
All pretty much the Hammer ones I got are all from the 60s.
60s? Okay.
Yeah.
60 onward.
Let's move into the 60s and early 70s.
1 second, right before you get into the 60s, there is one thing I do want to cover in the 50s that we didn't really get into. We're going to call these early exploitation gimmick movies. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We're going to talk about William Castle,
Mm.
who was Roger Corman before Roger Corman.
Yep.
And if you're not familiar who he is, watch a movie called Matinee.
Yep.
From Joe Dante, starring John Goodman. John Goodman more or less plays William Castle. Okay, he's not playing him, but he's playing a character very, very based on him. Okay, but one movie in particular I want to mention is The Tingler.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm just going to read this from the back because this is great. Okay. Vincent Price stars as an obsessed doctor who discovers that fear manifests itself into a parasitic creature which grows on the spinal cords of terrified people. If they scream, the Tingler can be destroyed. If they don't, it will sever the spinal column and kill them. He actually went to movie theaters and installed these little shock things into certain seats.
Yep.
And when the Tingler would show up on the screen, they would automatically start shocking people, and they would start screaming, which would make other people start screaming. And again, the movie's a piece of shit, but the marketing behind it is brilliant. And that's what William Castle did. He made these little schlocky movies, came up with gimmicks and ways he would hire people to go into these theaters and scream and holler, and actors and this and that, just so he could make enough money to make the next movie and then the next movie. And that's kind of what Corman did in a way, without the goofy extra effects. But yeah, I love the Tingler.
That was on. Kenny, do you remember seeing that one on making the rounds? Oh yeah, that was definitely on all the time.
Yeah, it's just a fun movie.
It's in black and white, but is there like a scene in a bathtub with red blood or something?
I own this DVD. It's been years since I've actually watched it, so I'm not really familiar.
Wonder if
yeah,
there was a
actually,
colorized
yeah, right there. You can see it right there.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a great movie. It
Yeah.
really is. But I had
His
to
remake.
I had to mention him because everybody knows how I feel about Roger Corman.
Yeah.
And again, I truly believe without William Castle, there wouldn't have been Roger Corman.
Yeah.
You know, so
Texas says it's one of his favorite movies.
Yeah, his remake of The Old Dark House is pretty good too. It's leans into the comedy a little more, but it's pretty good.
His version, you know, I mean, he did the original House on Haunted Hill, and he did the original 13 Ghosts, and you know what? I prefer those to the remix.
Yeah. Oh, he could make like a good films, and then throw the gimmick on after, or sometimes it was engineered around the gimmick. But
yeah, exactly.
Didn't for the House on Haunted Hill, didn't he string up skeletons in the theaters? Yeah.
That was my parents' first date.
Really?
Was seeing that movie. And I don't know if there
awesome.
was skeletons that dropped in their theater, but yeah, that was the first date that they had back in the day. Yeah, it's like I said, I just had to bring him up. So
Yeah.
actually, those skeletons, that's one of the other things that kind of scared me when I was a kid. The skeletons from the House on Haunted Hill, and the skulls that would show up in the Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake. And the funny thing is, they always look like they came right out of an anatomy catalog. You know what I mean? Nice and clean.
right.
You know, they didn't look like the ones from Poltergeist with flesh coming off of them and stuff.
Right.
It still scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I don't know why.
Yeah. That's funny. I have that movie. I haven't watched it yet. The Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake. That's on one of those MGM4 packs that I have. I want to see that.
Okay, let's get into the 60s.
All right, 60s. All right. Let's mention, of course, Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
Blood. Great movie. I prefer the sequel. Sorry.
Sequel's good.
You know, the sequel is not bad at all.
Psycho 2 is 1,000 times better than it has any right to be.
It really.
It's truly a miracle as far as I'm concerned.
Just think about what, even as a kid, when you heard, or a younger person, when you heard they were making a sequel to Psycho, what was your reaction? Probably like, oh, bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My mother was so traumatized by the original, that for years she wouldn't take a shower. She would only take baths. You know, like that would save her. But anyways, but maybe the reason why I like Psycho 2 more is because I saw it first.
Yeah.
When it came out, I had seen the famous scene, of course, from the original. But all the recap that they did in Psycho 2, I had already seen. I hadn't seen the rest of it. And my mom had just gotten her driver's license the year that movie came out. So she took me to see it. And yeah, I fucking love that movie. I think it's one of the best sequels of all time.
Yeah.
You know, I just do. And to me, the original Psycho, again, it's a masterpiece. It's also boring.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nothing happens for the first 40 minutes of that movie.
So, well, once you know about the switch,
then it's
then in subsequent viewings, I still enjoy parts of it. I love it when she's buying the used car and the cop is just like,
oh no,
got the shades on.
It's a masterpiece. I'm not saying that. The original Psycho is like up there with the greatest films of all time. It really is. I'm just saying that I have more of a fun time watching part 2.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I even think part 3 is criminally underrated.
I don't think I ever saw 3 or 4.
Well, part 4 is kind of like a TV movie. There's a lot of flashbacks with Henry Thomas and stuff,
Okay.
He's talking on the phone to a DJ and telling his story and shit.
Okay.
But Psycho 3, he directed. And it's really more of a dark comedy than anything. I mean, it really is. It's got a very dark sense of humor to it. And there's one scene in particular that has to do with an ice chest that is an all-timer. I mean, that's as far as I'll go. We're off topic.
Yeah.
We're talking about
they showed that on Carson when he went on. Perkins went on. And he was talking about, his first time directing and everything. And the audience when the sheriff reached in for the ice and
That
The
scene
audience
is just
cracked up.
so good. It's just so good. So yeah, it's a good movie. All right, but yeah, Psycho's great.
Yep.
It really is.
Ken mentioned Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
That's another one that was brought up. Same year as Psycho.
Yep. Disturbing.
I'm sorry, but I forgot another 50s movie,
What's
which
that?
isn't a slasher, but to me, my dad told me about this when I was a kid, when all the slasher movies in the 80s came out. Okay. And there was a new one every week. And I was like, I want to see this and I want to see that. My dad was like, you know what? None of those guys are scary. You want to see somebody scary? Watch Robert Mitchum in Night of the Hunter.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That movie is, again, nightmare fuel. He is terrifying in that movie. And my dad was right. You know, he didn't need a mask to be scary. And that came out in the 50s.
Yep.
And it's not an overly violent movie.
No.
But it doesn't have to be. You know, that movie is. It's pretty freaky.
Yeah, he's like unstoppable pretty much in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you know, Michael Myers before Michael Myers.
Yeah, right.
You know, so okay. I'm sorry. But yeah, I for whatever reason I completely forgot about that.
No, like I was joking at the beginning of the show, there's no way we're gonna cover everything in 2 hours. And we're at the hour and a half point, and you know, we're gonna miss so many things, and so many things are gonna get. I guarantee each one of us after the show, after we log off, we're gonna go, "Fuck, I forgot this," and you know,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Peeping Tom definitely is a good one, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought it up already, Jim. Night of the Living Dead, 68. Obviously,
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby. I know you're going to bring that up.
There you go. Yep. Hey, Stuart, we're talking about it. Hey, Carlos, I'm sorry, we're talking about it.
That's a movie that I had to force myself to watch because I thought it was going to be terribly boring, and I picked it for the Halloween 15 one year, maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be boring, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. I was surprised, and I had no idea how good it was going to be. And
yeah, it's not scary.
No, it's not scary, but it's creepy.
Yeah.
But
again, that's another one I always thought of as kind of like a very, very dark comedy.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's got funny parts to it too. Yeah. But the like when she wakes up and she's got the scratches on her and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just some creepy shit in there, but it's a genuinely entertaining movie, especially you know, the end. But
he has his father's eyes.
But yeah, that's a great one.
I saw that one after I saw Every Which Way But Loose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my introduction to Ruth Gordon was Every Which Way But Loose, and then in short order, I saw Rosemary's Baby and Harold and Maude.
Oh,
it
that's
was
awesome.
like, oh my god. So yeah, I love Ruth Gordon.
Yeah,
she is like, you know, just a piece of work in that. But her husband, Sidney Blackmer, he's a little creepy.
Yeah.
I love it when their friend Hutch says, "Oh, did you notice his ears were pierced?" And he says, "Pierced ears and piercing eyes." I love that line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Charles Grodin. I think I think that was like his movie debut or something, you know? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. And again, Stewart adores that movie. I mean, he just absolutely adores it. When I did my Satanic Sunday video, he was like, "Where's Rosemary's Baby?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it. We're going to be talking about it on Tuesday." So, there you go, buddy. Have you ever seen that movie, Kenny?
Nope.
As far as like the devil movies go, it's the most mainstream, I would say. It's not scary. It really isn't.
I know it has Frank Sinatra's ex-wife in it.
Mia Farrow. Yeah, she's the star of it. John Cassavetes, Ralph Bellamy, you know, Winston Duke.
It was that Dukes.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my old review that I wrote of it, and
What'd you give it?
Oh, I gave it 5 stars. I just said it's more than just a horror movie. But I said in my little summary, I put little like quotes to sort of sum up the. If you're too lazy to read the whole review, I put a little quote and then you can scroll down and see the stars. I just put Rosemary's Baby resonates on so many different levels that I've been thinking about it nonstop for days after seeing it. So, yeah, it affected me, and I still think about it all the time. So it's definitely a good one.
In the movie This Is the End,
Yes,
did a brilliant parody of the scene in Rosemary's Baby with Jonah Hill getting raped by the devil. It is like hysterically funny. And my wife, I was watching that movie in my bedroom on Blu-ray when it first came out. My wife's in bed next to me, half asleep, not watching the TV, but listening to what I'm listening. Thought I was watching a horror movie and said, "Turn this thing off. I'm going to have nightmares." And I'm watching Jonah Hill getting raped by Satan. Going, there's nothing scary here.
that was Lori and I's second date. We went to see that movie.
There you go. If she didn't like get totally disgusted and walk out, it's true love, man.
Did you have to redeem yourself after seeing Deliverance on your first date, or?
Yeah, really.
Requiem for a Dream.
That was our first movie, so no.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I do. I love that movie. I really do. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a satanic movie from the late 60s here that wasn't really part of the satanic wave of the 70s, because it's from the 60s and it's also based on a Dennis Wheatley novel, and it's a Hammer movie. The Devil Rides Out.
Yes.
With Christopher Lee as the good guy.
Yeah.
And it's a really good movie.
Yeah, that's a Scream Factory title, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, really
good.
I
don't own that one, unfortunately, but
yeah,
that's
been on my radar for a while.
Oh yeah, you got to check it out. Some of the special effects.
I don't own it.
Yeah, there's some dated special effects, some projection work and things. Yeah. And Christopher Lee is the good guy. And the thing about Hammer is, whenever they couldn't get like an actor they wanted for a role, like Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing, they always had like such a good bench of actors. So Charles Gray is the bad guy in this. And there's a scene where he works his way into the one house and he sort of hypnotizes a woman, and she doesn't really even realize what's going on. And it's really creepy.
Yeah.
It's based on a Dennis Wheatley novel. So it's not really like, it wasn't like somebody saying, hey, everyone else is making a movie about Satan. Let's jump on the bandwagon,
Right.
Yeah.
I'll shoot you a link on that, Sean, The Devil Rides Out, because it's on the double feature, like one of those like local a monster movie people do a double feature. So I'm going to send you a link to it.
Okay.
I just read when Dan was talking. I read it. I was like, "Oh, that sounds really good."
No, it's a good movie.
Yeah, somebody posted a list on IMDb of the 60 best 1960s horror movies, and that came in at number 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see that. That's good. Cool. Gave it
Unfortunately, I only own one Hammer movie, and that's from 1970. So we'll wait until we get to the 70s.
Okay. I've got one from the 70s. It's squeaked in. You know what? I'm going to make that my recommendation, because I think I showed my recommendation already once, maybe last time I was on. So anyway, I'll save that one for my recommendation. But yeah.
One that's on this list that I completely forgot about from 1960s, Black Sunday, Mario Bava.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Barbara Steele. I watched that.
I just had that. That was in my top 3 witches video.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched that not too terribly long ago, maybe 9-10 years ago. That was really, really good.
Yeah, I started watching a lot of those Baba movies on Shudder.
Really?
Yeah.
Another great 60s one is Village of the Damned.
Oh,
Not to be confused with the horrible remake from John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. That was a staple. I mean, I'm sure you remember seeing that one, Kenny.
Yeah.
Village of the Damned. Oh, yeah, that was on all the time.
Yeah. Those creepy ass blonde albino kids.
Yeah, that was a Prism staple, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, was those on Prism too?
Yeah, that was a Prism staple. Yeah.
Somebody made a video. See if I can find it and send it to you guys. But it's basically like it is basically David saying, "Leave us alone," and it's set to like music, and it just shows some of the creepier parts of the movie, and he just keeps going, "Leave us alone," you know.
And then another one that I didn't discover until years after the fact, and it was because George Romero was talking about it right before he died. Carnival of Souls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that is a creepy ass movie, man.
It is.
I mean, it's weird, but it's effective. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, that's another one. Like, it's one thing I like. You know, I always talk about the Halloween 15, which is, if people are watching this don't know what I'm talking about. Every year I do Halloween 15, which is I watch 15 horror movies in the month of October and I review them. But it's one way to force me to watch different types of horror movies that I wouldn't normally watch. And this year, like, I have a focus usually every year, and this year it's more modern horror movies. But Carnival of Souls I watched maybe I think 3 years ago, and I was watching older horror films, and that one, that's on one of those public domain things all the time, so you can easily get a copy of that. But Criterion released a copy of it, an edition of it, and I picked that up, and that's what I watched, and I was just blown away by how great that was.
It's creepy as hell. It really is.
And I believe, and I haven't done research on it lately, and I don't remember a lot about it, but that was the only movie that guy made, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not a expert about it. I just, like I said, I remember Romero, and it might have been about the time that they were restoring it or whatever, but he was championing it, saying, that it was kind of a flop when it came out, and the people didn't have rights to it, kind of like what happened to him with Night of the Living Dead and this and that and the other. But I remember him doing an interview and just really hyping this movie up. And I ended up catching it on cable or something. And it blew me away.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find it on this list, but.
You mean directing or?
Yeah.
No, he's done To Touch a Child.
I meant movies I want to watch.
No, basically a lot of
you got
a lot of the stuff that he did was for like kids, like Reading Rainbow.
Oh, okay.
I bet. To Touch a Child.
Shakes Hands with Danger. Halloween Safety. So basically all he did was you guys are pervert. So basically he did was basically like PBS stuff for like
that's weird. Yeah.
Okay.
He has a wide ranging Shake Hands with Danger, Manners in Public. It's basically teaching kids how to act in public.
Hey. He had a career. Good for him,
Halloween Safety. Yeah, he was really big. I just read up a little bit on him. He was a school teacher.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are all. Yeah, those are all short films. Yeah, this was his only feature film.
Huh. Yeah. How to act in public. You better behave yourselves. Get rid of the creepy guy from Carnival of Souls.
That's my next feature, To Touch a Child.
Here's something interesting about it. In 1961, he took a working vacation from the university to try his hand at feature filmmaking and producing, and that came out to Carnival of Souls.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty interesting.
Good for him.
Excuse me.
That is interesting. That building in that movie is creepy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is it? The Saltaire Pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's a great movie though. I was just looking through this list and I came across Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, which is also on many of those public domain things.
Still my favorite version of that story.
Yep. That's
You get people talk about the Will Smith version all they want, and again, I love the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
The second the dog dies, I'm done.
Yeah,
it just becomes a CG movie at that point.
Yeah, well, a really bad CG movie. It looks like a bad PlayStation game.
Absolutely.
PlayStation
and
1.
The ending is ridiculous. So
yeah.
Whereas Last Man on Earth, you know, they call them, you know, they're vampires. They kind of act like zombies, but they're vampires. Yeah. But his brother-in-law is calling out his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, you know, I'm coming to get you, pretty much. And it's still pretty effective.
Yeah, it's the best version of that story, I think, to this day. I mean, I like Omega Man. I like every version to a certain degree. They haven't actually had the perfect version of that story yet, because I Am Legend, you know, the actual story from Richard Matheson is great. I mean, it's just phenomenal. But of the filmed versions that I've seen, I'll still take the Vincent Price version.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught that on late night on like a very early version of streaming, before streaming like was mainstream. There was a movie site that was showing public domain movies on a website, and I happened to catch it from the beginning. And I'm like, what is this? Oh, okay, I've never seen this. I've heard about it. And I sat down and watched it on my computer. It was like the very first movie I watched on my computer. And I fell in love with it. And I wrote a review of it. And like the weird Italian buildings that are in it, you know, it's supposed to be in the future. And, you know, it's just a really great movie with just the whole setup. And, you know, he's living in that house and he's got his records and all that stuff.
Garlic on the door.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just awesome.
Rolls out of bed, makes some more steaks, you know?
More or less.
And I love, because it's Vincent Price, of course he's wearing dress shoes and a blazer the whole time.
Right,
he's got to have that blazer on at all times.
Right.
You got to bury your corpses wearing them. You know, you got to look good when you're burying your corpses.
That's right.
He just takes them out to that massive dump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great movie.
I love Vincent Price, especially from that era. I mean, it's just, it's great.
All right, we're coming up to the end here. What about early 70s?
Well, this one is from 1970, and it is the only Hammer film that I currently own. And Kenny, if you haven't seen this one, you're going to love this one.
Oh.
The Vampire Lovers.
Oh.
With the beautiful Ingra Pitt and Peter Cushing. And let me show you this bad boy here. There's some alternate artwork there. I mean, that's old school there, you know.
Oh, that's neat. It's
but
on this too, guys.
This is a great one. You know, I mean, Hammer. Well, around this time there was lots of, you know, quote unquote lesbian vampire movies, you know, and shit. But this one's the best. It is, and it's really good. I actually really, really enjoy this movie, and not for the obvious reasons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
but Ingrid Pitt is truly a vision. I mean, she's just
something
absolutely stunningly beautiful in this movie. So that's the only one that I own. But I know Dan's probably got quite a few.
Yeah. Well, I got. Let me mention. I wanted to mention this because I'd never shown it on the channel before, and it tells probably the same story as the Lon Chaney movie you mentioned. Not a Hammer movie. Kind of feels like one. The Flesh and the Fiends.
Oh,
that's from '60. Peter Cushing and Donald Pleasance with hair.
Wow.
This is a Burke and Hare story. You know, the grave robbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Peter Cushing is the doctor. What's cool is when we went to Scotland and we did the ghost tour, we got out at like the one cemetery, and you can see the watchtower that they built where it was manned all night, where someone just sat there and made sure no one
robbed the graves.
Right.
Which is now like somebody's office. Somebody like goes to work in there every day.
Nice.
Like really weird. We can see like a computer and a desk through the window. It's like, anyway, but that was from '60s. Now late '60s, or that was from 1960. From late '60s for Hammer, you got Quatermass in the Pit.
Oh yeah.
It's a sci-fi horror.
Love those Quatermass movies.
Yep.
It's cool because it's sci-fi, but it ties into like the devil and the fear of the devil, and where they find this thing buried in the ground is like Hobbs Street, and Hobbs is another name for the devil. So it's like, wait a minute, is that why people used to be afraid of this area? 500 years ago, and it kind of all comes together at the end. Really good, really good. Andrew Keir as Quatermass is excellent in this.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
And the Flesh and the Fiends is available on Tubi also.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Cool. That's not the one I thought you were gonna. There's a Burke and Hare movie. I think that came out in the 70s.
Ah.
It's called just Burke and Hare. I just came across it. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't know anything about it. I just came across because I didn't know anything about Burke and Hare at all until I watched The Body Snatcher.
Ah.
So I didn't. I didn't know what that was all about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
The second I was going to mention. Do I have it? Oh, I've got it in one of the compilations. Well, first of all, you had the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, the Hammer movie with Christopher Lee and Oliver Reed, where they do like the switch where I mean, to be honest, the guy looks like the Geico caveman. You can't get out of your head when you see him. They give him all this hair, right? And then, what they did was they shaved it off, and he's a handsome guy.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mr. Hyde is a handsome, like, debonair guy. Well, that was the first one. The second one that Hammer did was, I don't think it counts. I think it came after 73, but it's Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Yeah.
And,
What was I going to say? Comments from 71.
Oh, yeah. But they put Burke and Hare in that one, too. They kind of shoehorned Burke and Hare in that movie. And it's, they were up in Edinburgh, not London, but whatever,
Okay.
It's not the main thrust of the movie, so it really doesn't matter. But both of those Jekyll movies are pretty good.
Cool. I'll have to check those out because I haven't, like I said, I haven't checked out any of the Hammer versions. But
it's from 71, so it fits. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That one's a little risque too. I mean, that one's like kind of like with Vampire Lovers. You're like, there's a couple scenes in that with brunette. I'll think of it, but yeah, she's quite attractive.
Okay. I'm thinking Caroline Monroe, but that's not it, is it?
That's what I was thinking immediately. Caroline Monroe.
He was something else.
Ingrid Pitt.
Not Ingrid Pitt. She's dark hair. Martine Beswick.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The Abdominal Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. Jim, you mentioned those. There you go.
Right there. Right there, buddy.
Yep.
Absolutely adore both of them, but especially the first one.
Yeah, the first one's great.
I truly believe Saw was inspired by especially the first Dr. Phibes movie.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And
absolutely.
Vincent Price, I love Vincent Price. I've already established that. This is my favorite Vincent Price film by far, is the original Dr. Phibes. I love it. It's so much fun.
Yep.
Also has a bit of comedy to it too.
It's got a very, very, again, most of my movies, you'll notice a pattern. They got like a dark sense of humor to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that movie's just, it's fun. It's psychedelic. I mean, it's weird. It's fun.
It's very weird. Like I told you earlier on your comment on your video today, I haven't seen the second one, but I love the first one. I thought it was fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I would totally agree with you about the Saw stuff. It's undoubtedly that's where it came from.
The last trap with the tubes, when the liquid's going down the tubes.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's got to be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Double feature, and they're on 2 different discs. And this is Kino, so I got this for like $10.
Yeah,
and it's constantly on sale. So
it might be on sale right now.
It might be part of that sale now. Yeah.
I have that same exact set. I just haven't watched the second movie yet.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend it because again, I love the first one, but the second one it's very entertaining and it's got Peter Cushing in it.
Yeah, Peter Cushing shows up a little bit. Yep.
Cool. All right. So then we get through the 70s, and by 1973, horror had evolved from theatrical monster tales to modern socially aware nightmares, setting the stage for The Exorcist and the slasher wave that followed. Dun dun dun. Uh-oh. What do you got there?
Don't Look Now.
You mentioned that. I hadn't heard that one before.
This again, it came out the same year as The Exorcist. It came out earlier that year.
Yeah.
And this is a very slow burn. Okay. It's about grief. This whole movie's about grief. Okay. A married couple played by Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland at the very beginning of the movie, their young daughter gets killed. And they decide to move, and they move to Europe to get away from it all. And pretty soon, Donald Sutherland starts seeing visions of a little girl in a red coat, just like his daughter, and he's convinced that she's still alive, or there's like a doppelganger situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some murders going on at the same time. And all I'll say is the last scene of that film is shocking. Okay. It's one of those dark, shocking endings that you don't see coming. It's a horror movie, but it's not. It's more of a slow burn story about grief, like I said. But it's a very good movie. Not for everybody, but it's a really good one. You know, I would recommend. I think you would like it, Sean.
Okay, I put it on my list. Cool. You had mentioned it in your video, and I didn't quite catch what the click of it was, but they'll definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, that's on the Criterion
TV.
What's that?
Oh, it's on Pluto TV.
Pluto TV.
Yeah, nice.
Ooh.
I got the Criterion collection, but that was the last sale. That I mean, for $20, yeah, it's worth it. I'm glad I didn't spend 40 for it. But there's a very, very notorious explicit love scene between Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland in that movie that for years people were convinced that they were actually having sex on screen. And it turned out that no, they were not, but yeah, it's not for everyone, but I enjoy it. I really do. But you got to have patience with it. Again, it's a slow burn.
Cool.
So when did The Exorcist come out in 73?
Believe it or not, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve?
It did some individual screenings before that, but it was released nationwide right after Christmas. Believe it or not. It was,
so I got another one before my recommendation then. Good.
So yeah. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I said if we're going to do classic, let's make the cutoff for The Exorcist. Because again, it's the end of 73. But again, like I said at the very beginning, once that movie came out, everything changed.
Yep.
I mean, everything got more extreme. The effects went up. The budgets went up. People's expectations went up, and suddenly horror was being taken a lot more seriously. Mm-hmm. It went from those giant kaiju monsters to Satanic Panic and all these other, mass killers in the suburbs, for the next decade. So
it became commercially viable, and that's when Hollywood saw money in the devil's eyes.
Yeah. Dominoes.
Yeah. We didn't see many like ghost haunted house movies for like another decade after that, or maybe more, because everything became demons and the devil rather than ghosts. Yes. And apparently even the Warrens, all of a sudden, like when they would go investigate a house, it's a demon, it's not a ghost.
Yeah.
Because of the Exorcist influence. Yeah.
Right. Yep. That's funny.
It's exactly what it was with the Amityville horror. I mean, that was like the first one that it was like, is it a house that's haunted or is it a house that's possessed or, blah, blah, blah,
Right. Yeah.
Whereas Poltergeist, I think, was like the first ghost movie in the suburbs that took it from like some gothic mansion out in the middle of nowhere and brought it to suburbia, Yeah,
because it was always like the big old house.
Yep.
That's why
my favorite ghost story of all time is Changeling.
Yeah.
From 1980 with George C. Scott. It's a brilliant movie. Okay.
Yep. Great movie.
Same thing. It's a big ass house, I mean, in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. All right. We're coming up on 2 hours. So do you guys have any other movies you wanted to say before we got into the recommendations?
Real quick, since it squeaked in. Speaking of compilations, this Silent Night, Bloody Night is on tons of compilations. With Mary Warnov, Patrick O'Neill, John Carradine. I'll tell you what, and I have I had it on a compilation, and then I got this from Oldies and Alpha Video. It's the same copy. I was like, duh. Well, my friends, the Horror Man and Horrific Nightmares Jam, they told me about this version. This is the Film Chest restored version, and I got to tell you, it's like a different movie. first of all, I knew it was a pretty good movie, but wow, this is an excellent movie. So much of it takes place at night, and so many of those scenes you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, this is the way to go if you're going to get Silent Night, Bloody Night, the film chest restored version.
What year is that?
The way to go. 73.
Okay.
So it's
Mary
squeaked in.
Marnoff is the star of that?
Yeah, Mary Warnoff. And I'll tell you what, she looks really cute in this movie.
I love her. I've always loved
She
her.
really does. She's very young in this.
Yeah, because she was pretty young in Death Race, and that came out in
Yeah.
75. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that still in print?
You know, I don't know where I got this from, whether it was I don't know where I got this from. It could have been from eBay. Yeah, you're gonna have to do a little bit
Come
of
on,
this.
Hamilton book. I bet you it's there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But this is what it looks like, this version here.
All right.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great recommendation. All right, Kenny.
All right, my my Tubi recommendation is one of my favorite horror Hammer movies, The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957.
Nice.
Really enjoy that one. It's Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee. It's really Hazel Court is Elizabeth in it, and that's one that I've watched more than once. And I really enjoy that one. I just like the effects in it and just the way it's shot. Because that's why when Dan started talking about like Hammer and I started getting into and watching his videos, I just like how all of them are shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the shadows and everything on them. I just like that. And even though this one is color, you know, you can still see what the director was going for on it. So that is my Tubi pick of the week.
Great movie, Kenny.
Yeah, that was always my favorite Christopher Lee movie up until recently.
Yeah. I I know they followed Dr. Frankenstein, but man, I do love that makeup of Christopher Lee in Curse of Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yeah, that's available on Shout Factory as well, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. All right, Jim.
Well, I usually stick with the topic when I do these recommendations, but this week I am not. I am not going with a classic movie. I am not going with a horror movie. I'm going with the movie that was released this year, but you know what? I got it last week and I want to talk about it, so fuck you, deal with it. I am talking about one of my absolute favorite movies of the year, The Life of Chuck. This was written and directed by Mike Flanagan, based on the short story from Stephen King. Stars Tom Hiddleston, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Karen Gillan, Jacob Tremblay, Mia Sara, Mark Hamill, among others. I don't know what to say about this movie other than it brought out every emotion that I have in my body. It's told in 3 acts, but they are told in reverse order. The first act, which is Act 3, left me in confusion. The middle part left me with a serious amount of joy. And the third one brought me with some sadness, but also some realization about life that I didn't really think about. And it's a beautiful film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be for everyone. I can already tell where some people are going to be like, this movie is stupid, or it went over, or it doesn't make sense, or nobody acts that way, or whatever. I don't give a shit. Take the time, watch this film, and when it's over, think about it for a couple of minutes, and then make your decision whether or not it works for you. It certainly worked for me. Thanks, Chuck, for 39 great years. That's my recommendation of the week.
I'll allow it.
Thank you.
I'll also totally second that, even though it's not my recommendation for the week. I totally agree with what you just said. It's a fantastic movie. And to back up what you said, it's not for everybody, but if you're the type, what I summed up, I mentioned it on my channel in my pickups video for September. I said that if you're the type of person that thinks about life and the meaning of life and where you fit into the world and into like just the general place in the universe, if you're that type of person, you'll love this movie.
Yeah.
if you don't ever think about that kind of stuff, you'll hate the movie because you won't get it.
Yeah.
So,
And again, it's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
film. It really is.
it's just some people won't get it because they're just not tuned that way because they just don't think
Yeah,
that way.
and that's fair. You know, again, I never disparage what people like.
No.
And again, I generally hate movies like that.
Yeah.
Movies that I call manipulative emotion movies because you know that's what they're trying to do. And
Right.
in this case, it was like, sign me up. I'm here. You know, I mean, it really did. It works so well for me.
I think it's less manipulative than eye-opening, but I agree. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Dan, what you got for us?
All right. I've got an interesting one from 1972. This is the third Hammer sequel to The Mummy. And it's very different because it's based on a Bram Stoker novel, The Jewel of the Seven Stars, and it's called Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Peter Cushing was set to star in this, but he had to drop out because his wife was ailing. So Andrew Keir, the guy that played Quatermass, jumped in. And this is an interesting one. It feels different from the other ones. It's got kind of more of a modern setting, and it stars Valerie Leone.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. She was in The Spy Who Loved Me. She's very good in this.
I thought I recognized that rack.
A lot of people. There we go.
Sorry.
The severed hand beckons from the grave.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's weird. It plot wise, it doesn't really follow the same plot. A lot of those movies it was like, oh, let's tell the story about Karis being buried alive again. And
Right.
this is totally departs from that. It's much more of a sort of a modern setting. A lot of people will rank this one like as their favorite or maybe number 2 after the original. As far as
What year is that?
72.
Awesome.
And this is Shout.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
This is on Shout. Mm-hmm.
And guys, that is on Fossum and Plex if you want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm getting all kinds of good ones tonight.
Yeah. Awesome. Or Fossum.
Yeah, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
See, this is why we have you on, Dan. You're awesome when it comes to
Absolutely.
awesome when it comes to this. You really are.
Yeah.
Among other things,
Yeah.
you're just a
Absolutely.
great guest all the time.
All the time. All
Oh,
right.
by the way, can I just say Mike's DVD and Blu-ray is here? Hey, Mike. And
Michael,
I got to figure this out, but when Mike leaves comments on my channel, I don't see them. I see them in the notifications, but then under my video, I can't see his comment. The only way I can do it is to go into Studio and try to reply to the comments that I haven't replied to yet.
I get that every once in a while too. With
That's
Stuart,
been happening to me
that
too.
happened to me yesterday with Patrick. He left.
Oh, really?
He left a comment on one of my videos, and I didn't get it right away.
That happened to
Until I
me
saw
with
it.
you, Mr. Dan.
Oh, really?
You commented on my video the other day, and I got a notification. You have a comment on this video, but I went to the video and there was no comment.
Yeah.
So I had to go into the Studio app and see it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the evil overlords of AI YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we love you, YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, YouTube.
YouTube's like, stop promoting Tubi, damn it.
Yeah, really.
We've got movies too. Darn
I
it.
do watch a lot of movies on YouTube.
So do I.
Yeah, so it's like, but I have brought them out. Like when I can get them, on there, I'll highlight them. But
Yep. Maybe we can get them to sponsor us.
wouldn't that be awesome?
I just want somebody to sponsor us.
Yeah, Hamilton book. We're
Yeah,
waiting.
Those bail bonds.
Come on,
Yeah,
Hamilton
right.
book.
That's it. Make a dramatic plea. That's what
I
we
am.
need.
Check it out. Yeah, I even got this. The De Palma Decade
Oh,
Oh, cool.
from Hamilton Book.
sweet.
Is that
Yeah.
from Hamilton book?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Sweet.
wow.
They had a whole batch. They got a whole batch. Somebody they like bought somebody's whole somebody had a huge closeout and they just bought like a crap ton of books from somebody and then they put
That's
a lot of them out on
that's
sale.
definitely a book I would.
Yeah, I know.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a big De Palma guy. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
great.
Cool. All right.
Dan, you're
Right.
awesome, buddy. Thank you so much for being
No
here.
problem.
All right. I got my recommendation and then we'll get going.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, it's all right. We actually talked about my movie quite a bit, but so I'll just recommend it real quick. It's on this special effects compilation. Whoops. Them from 1954.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
The reason I picked it is, yes, it's a giant monster movie, and it's got some hokey-ish special effects. But as far as the writing goes and the plot and the actual execution of it, it's kind of head and shoulders above most of the B movies from back then.
Yeah.
It's a little more adult, and the cast is a lot better. I think James Whitmore's in it.
Yep.
So of those types of movies, it's probably the cream of the crop.
It's the best.
Yeah. So
it's the best, without a doubt.
If you're going to watch one of those American giant monster movies, watch that one. So that's my recommendation. So
Great.
And by the way, guys, sorry to tell you, it's sold out on Hamilton book. It's gone.
Oh,
The book?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just went to put it in my cart, and it's gone.
Dan's like, I'm going on eBay and selling this shit.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, not a sponsor.
Yeah.
For $20, but it's not on Hamilton book anymore.
What was it selling for?
Less than that.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Yeah, definitely less than that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a bummer. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Way to bring us down, Kenny.
Yeah. Sorry to leave everybody on a downer.
Debbie Downer over there again.
That's all right. We've got thousands of movies to watch on YouTube and Tubi, so we're good.
That's right.
Here we
Dan.
go.
I got thousands of movies on my shelf I haven't watched yet.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
Physical media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just keep on going. Oh, that looks interesting, and then it's like it gets like backwash, back, you know, like
Yeah.
that. And it's like, oh yeah, especially now because when you're trying to watch like all the like the Hammer stuff, and you know, especially because I just got Shudder, the streaming service for the month, not a sponsor.
Before we go, since you brought up Hammer, okay, and I forgot to ask Dan this because I know you're really into all the Hammer movies. What is your favorite Hammer Dracula movie with Christopher Lee?
Oh man,
Because he made a lot of them.
he did make a lot of them. Man.
I mean, you guys could answer that too if you've seen more than one or whatever. But
Probably right now, as it stands right now, the first one.
Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness.
The first one is Horror of Dracula, right?
Yeah, Horror of Dracula. I think it goes under two different titles.
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness, Dracula, Prince of Darkness is the one that I loved.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same movie or not, but because they probably. I just remember that one has to do with ice.
Yeah.
And the windmill with the giant cross.
The funny thing about that is, like, I know from having that book about Dr. Shock, it says in there, like they didn't get any Hammer movies. That was a different package of movies.
Yeah.
But for years I remembered that windmill scene, and I didn't know what movie it was from until I started going through Hammer movies, and I was like, so I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. I could, and the thing was with the Frankenstein ones, my de facto one was the first one, but then I like Frankenstein Created Woman, like it kind of does go back and forth if you rewatch those series, both of those series have like 3 or 4 contenders for your favorite one. That's the way it works. Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 other great movies, but I don't know if they're Hammer, but I always think that they are for some reason. One is Horror Express.
Yep.
With Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee on the damn train with the killer monkey or whatever the hell that thing is.
With Telly Savalas, yeah.
It's almost like a Sherlock Holmes movie with the 2 of them, but it's a cool movie. And then Twins of Evil.
Yeah, Twins of Evil's Hammer.
Yeah, I know that one's Hammer, but
that's a good one.
Circus. I forgot about that one too. Was the other one that I loved when I was a kid was Vampire Circus. But yeah,
the one I like, I think Dan, you talked about this one was Scars of Dracula.
Yeah, that's a good one.
1970. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with any of those.
No, really. Even the last 2, which some people don't like, there's enough in there.
Yeah,
there's enough in there to
Satanic Rites of Dracula or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Dracula 1973 or whatever the hell it is.
AD.
Yeah. No, I did mess up. There's the Horror of Dracula was also sometimes called Dracula.
Okay.
And then there's Dracula, Prince of Darkness, which is a different movie.
It's a
so
sequel.
yeah, they're two different movies.
Gotcha.
My bad. All right. Well, thank you, Dan, for coming on.
Yeah,
and,
Absolutely. Thank you,
enlightening
Dan.
us with your knowledge. Thank you very much.
Pretty soon it's going to be talking movies with Sean, Kenny, and Mr. Dan. They've been trying to get me out for a while.
Edging the man out of the closet.
Yeah. Get back in the closet, you.
Jim's just gonna have his own show, Uncloseted.
Yeah.
A very special guest, he says, to touch a child.
Yeah, that didn't come out right.
Or Harvey.
Never does.
That's what
All
she
right.
said.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Thanks, everybody in the chat for being online tonight. Thanks, everybody watching on the replay. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight and listening. And thank you, Mr. Dan. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Kenny. And
Are we going to tease next week's?
We're going to tease next week's. We do have both guests locked down, right?
Yeah.
All right.
As far as I know.
All right. So next week we're going to be talking about horror franchises.
2 weeks, 2 and 2.
2 weeks. Next week. 2 weeks.
Next episode.
Next show. You know the drill.
You know.
We've got Brian the Horror Punk, and I'm going to mess this guy's name up.
Larry the Horror Cat Dad.
The Horror Cat Dad. Sorry.
Oh, cool. Larry's awesome.
Yeah. I told him, I said, he's one of Dan's buddies because neither one of them were familiar with Larry. And I was like, oh, Larry's great. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Creature from the Black Lagoon, but Larry loves
Larry's big time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be on with him on his channel on I think the 18th.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm going to bust his balls about the Toxic Avenger. When he was on my show, he was going on and on about how that was the best movie of the year that he's seen, which again, hey, I'm glad he enjoyed it. I watched it the other day and I was like, really, Larry? It's fun. Yeah. It's a fun movie. So
well, you can blast him on. You can put him on blast in 2 weeks because he's going to be here on the show.
No, Larry's a great guy. So is Brian.
October 21st, 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll see you guys then. So good night. Thank you. And enjoy the rest of spooky season until 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
See you guys.
Later, guys.
Everybody.
Later. Bye.
Later.